Okay, so here in a couple of days, I will no longer be grounded on Facebook for speaking out against President Trump. Some of you probably won't like the fact that I do not give him credit as a president. I barely even give him credit as a human being because, unlike most of you who support him, I've actually followed his life and what he has done throughout his life, and it's disgusting. Um, so, that's not what this is about. I mean, I understand that there's a whole bunch of stuff going on right now in the world for racial divide and inequality, and I fully support the movement on that. I do not support looting or violent outbursts against mom and pop shops or little places like that. If you're hell bent on doing these things, I personally feel you should be targeting those who allow it to happen. So government buildings and, scream at your mayor and get out in front of their front yard and, show them what it feels like to have a burning cross in their yard and all of the other things that our brothers and sisters in the black community have had to suffer for the last, 200 years. And I feel very particular to that because my people, hereditarily, however you want to say it, they were slaves to the same ancestors that the blacks have now been slaves to and treated poorly by. As you might have noticed with all of my fur, I'm Irish. So anyway, the point on this whole thing, let's get off of that. You guys, if you know me, you already know where I stand on that, and I stand absolutely with the oppressed because it's not right. But this video is to raise awareness for another walk of life that has been receiving one of the short sticks in the history of humanity, and that would be reptiles. As some of you may know already, I run a reptile rescue privately. We do not have a 501c3 for Hills Happy Herps, which I am the Hill of Hills Happy Herps. And of course, the Happy Herps are the critters that I bring in that I'm able to heal, and they go on to live long, healthy, happy lives. So everything that we do is completely nonprofit. It's and we do have a 501c3 that is partnered with us. That I do take in any of their scales that they have. I also have other sister rescues that are private. So it's not just me, and that does help a lot because sometimes I feel like I am alone in this fight, and it's a fight that's been very close to my heart for 20 years or so, a little bit more than, because especially after I've had a couple of reptiles that they saved my life from a very bad emotional place, and in light of that, I have decided to dedicate my life that I still have to trying to make theirs better, trying to heal theirs and the damage that was done to them by ignorant people who couldn't even be bothered to research what they needed to thrive at a base level. They just listen to the stores who don't care about anything but their bottom line, or the people who've been doing this for all of a month or three, and they feel like they're professionals and they know exactly what they're talking about. Never assisted in a surgery, never been broken from a loss, which we just were again. Excuse me. So specifically what I work with are bearded dragons, which are Pagona, and there are 8 different different subgroups of Pagona that we absolutely know about from Australia, which is their home stomping grounds, which, again, another place with pretty big racial problems happening and has been happening for too long. My heart is also with you, the Aboriginal people. I hope that one day you wake up and your kids are safe from this bullshit hate for something that you can't help, like your pigment. That's just absolutely ridiculous. It's retarded. And let me go on record before people hate at me for even using that word. For me, it's not. It's not. It has nothing to do with a legitimate mental handicap or minimization of capacity or anything like that. It has nothing to do with people who are special needs or emotionally compromised or whatever the case may be, that they're going to try and call you retarded. That you're not. You're not retarded. You're just a human being. You're just normal. Just like the rest of us. You just work a little bit differently, and no two humans are the same. Even identical twins have different thoughts, different genetic compositions, and different fingertips. The prints. How many of y'all actually knew that even identical twins have different fingerprints? So anyway, there are 8 subgroups of the Pagona, and see that's the Nullarbor, the Lawsoni, the Minima, the Michelli, the Viticeps, the Barbata, the Minor, and the Minima, and the Microlepidota. I don't think that I've said that one yet. So Viticeps, Barbata, Microlepidota, Minima, Minor, the Lawsoni, Michelli, and God, now I'm missing one again. Maybe it was the Nullarbor. I don't know if I said that again. I know I've been through all 8 of them. Sorry, I'm doing all that from memory. One of the things that I love most about these guys is that they come in 8 different flavors, and they're all freaking amazing. So the point is that animals do feel emotion. Reptiles have been long claimed that they do not feel emotion, and they do. They absolutely use serotonin, dopamine, MDMA5A as the big 3, the ones that's pretty much all they do is an emotional response. And so since we're pushing 10 minutes of me rambling, trying to keep my emotions in check with this hard time, let me just go ahead and say that everything that we do here is absolutely non-profit. I have been functioning on the kindness of other hearts for several years now. We started this and I was funding it all myself, and of course that went away because I'm out of money. It all went to the wins and the losses that we have suffered and been through and claimed in the last 4 or 5 years. So these guys are my 9 to 5. I don't have time for a 9 to 5. There's several of them even now on property that I can't do that, because if I do, they're going to die. They need me checking on them every hour, every 15 minutes, some of them, they actually have to stay right in front of me, which we have no longer any of those on property, but it's just a matter of time until we do. So in order to try and raise funding in a much more manageable aspect. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody who has sponsored up to this point, even if it's been the little bits, it does help. It has kept us functioning. We appreciate you. I especially appreciate you. The reptiles, they might not be able to tell you that they appreciate you, but they fucking do. They really do. And they tell me, so I'm going to tell you. They tell me through their affinity of cuddling on me and just being happy. which they didn't have before. So these little lives, they matter. You know, nobody's going to doubt, except for maybe some ignorant fucking racist piece of shit, nobody's going to doubt that Black lives matter. And they do. And especially primarily at this time in place that we are at in the world, because they are still being treated just horribly. And this isn't signaling, virtue signaling or anything like that. This is just me saying that, you know what, there needs to be a change. But it's not just with humans. There does need to be a change, and it needs to be all the way around. Now, we have recently seen that neglect and abuse of animals has become a felony in all 50 states. And, you know, that's great. And it does extend to mostly mammals. I haven't heard of a single reptile case yet that somebody's going to get charged for the way that they've come in to see me, or if I've lost them. So that is the point of this video. So in terms of that, and in light of that, here is what I want to do. I'm not going to be shaving. Not my hairy ass chest. Luckily, I don't have a hairy back, because that would suck. I do have pretty hairy junk at this point, and a bum at this point. So that'll be fun. Woo! I've never been waxed before. And I gotta say, I commend the women who do this, like, monthly, weekly, whatever it is. Because, wow, it just looks so painful. And as you can probably tell from my expression, I'm a little bit nervous about that. Because as soon as I am up on Facebook again, and we can run our fundraiser, I can run the fundraiser and open it up, Donald Trump still belongs to the fucking hole where garbage belongs. But I'm going to go ahead and keep that to myself on Facebook for the next couple of months, because old fucker turd doesn't want you to say anything bad about anybody who's backing him. Corruption! I have a fucking right to my free speech, damn it. So does everybody else. Everybody! There are limitations to that, and if you're going to be using your free speech to disparage people for things that they can't help, shame on you. Shame on you. But, anyway, so $10,000. If we reach $10,000 with this next fundraiser, which I will go ahead and add the links to this video at the bottom, as well as share this video onto the platform on Facebook where the fundraiser will be held, because we by far get the biggest response there. We've tried several medias for it, and Facebook has so far been the only one that really, well, Instagram too, but I guess they're the same company now. But anyway, Facebook has been the only place where we are actually getting a response. So there's the one good thing that fucker turd has done. Zuckerberg. However, PETA is now involved with Facebook, and they are making rescue and rehome and any kind of animal thing, sales of animals, which most of these aren't sales. It's trying to reclaim expenses that we have paid out just to save these animals and get them to the point where they could be rehomed. So, thanks for that, PETA! You fucking assholes! All you do is euthanize all goddamn day. We're trying to give them real homes. And you feel that just because you paid Facebook a buttload of money, now you get to tell us we can't do our job. Fuck you. Fuck you, PETA. You ain't no rescue. You ain't no animal rights activist group. You are crooked, corrupt, and evil. You don't rehome, you euthanize. That's disgusting. Animals that are perfectly healthy even. You take them from people from loving homes and you euthanize them. What the fuck? Woo! Trying to stay on topic, failing miserably. I know, I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Shut your ball washer, Jay. Get to the point. I am. Sorry. So, anyway, like I said, $10,000. If we can reach $10,000 or beat $10,000, my chest waxed. Whew. Whew. If we can reach $20,000, my extremities, arms and legs, as well as the chest, waxed. If we can beat or meet $50,000 for me and my sister groups to be able to continue functioning for these animals that have no voice on their own and continuously receive the shorter stick, the shortest of all sticks, my whole body, including one of those face masks, those peel away ones, the charcoal mask or whatever, the black ones that it's causing everybody so much pain to just peel them off bit by bit. I'll do that as well. Nose, ears, face, maybe even the head. I'll probably have to shave it down a little bit so it's, because I don't think it'll work like that. But, yep. I don't know if there's something to be able to do the head like that, but if we can beat $50,000, yeah. That's what I will do. It will be live streamed. So anybody who doesn't like my big fat mouth talking all the mess that it does on the inequality of the world, as it fucking always does, now you've got a reason to give to the cause as well. Because you probably want to see me in pain. And I can respect that. I can appreciate that. So I'm going to give you a chance to use your hatred for a better cause. And I will be the target of that. Because I have been through enough emotional pain already. And I'm by far not alone in that. Just doing what I do. But if I've pissed you off and you would like to see me squirm in agony, you're going to have your chance. Because if we beat 10,000, like I said, chest. If we beat 20,000, arms and legs with the chest. If we beat 50,000, I'm going to do a full body Brazilian. That means my crack, my taint, my balls and junk, all of it. Everything that is so painful. My face, my nostrils, my ears. I don't know if I've even got hair in my ears yet. But if I do, it's gonna hurt. Whew, I am nervous. I will not deny that. I've never done a waxing, as I said. I have seen and enjoyed plenty of waxing for the first time videos, and I got a lot of hair. And I got a lot of people out there who absolutely despise me because I am so outspoken. Probably a lot of you that are in PETA now, or Trump supporters. That's no stranger to me, though. You guys have hated me forever. Well, especially since this whole presidency started. But speaking of, you guys make sure you vote November, because we got to get this ass hat out of there. Never should have been in there in the first place. My God, what has this whole place come to? So, those who are heavily religious, they probably don't like me either because I am anti-theist. It doesn't mean that I don't have people who are religious that I would absolutely take a bullet for because they're still good people. I just don't agree with their allegiance to a God that regularly ignores the plight of the innocent. Because in my opinion, it has to ignore it because it doesn't exist. There's just too much in this world that proves that to me, that there is no God. And if any change is going to happen, if any, justice is going to befall our species and the species that we have wreaked havoc upon, with our ignorance and selfishness and just outright complacency towards them. It's up to us. We have to make this change. So, in the spirit of being the change that I want to see in the world, desperately, I will be more than happy to subject myself to some pains, physical pains, because the emotional pain is already there. So, on the 14th of June, I will no longer be grounded on Facebook. Hopefully. Maybe the 15th. And that is when you will be able to find the fundraiser for this drive. And of course, just to put it out there, every last red cent will be used to help the animals that it was destined for, just like every red cent has been to this point. I have no problem divulging finances or records or anything like that to show that, you know, every dollar that I have spent in the last 5 years, pretty much, if not to keep myself sustained so I can keep fighting for them and learning everything I possibly can medicinally wise for them to bring them back to a state of comfort and strength, has been used for the animals. And many of you already have seen it, especially those of you who sponsor with what little you can and your shares. And that we definitely appreciate, because I'm nobody. I don't have a huge following. And that's made it very hard. If we already had 10,000 people or 100,000 people following us and throwing $1, you know, I wouldn't have a leg to stand on, other than shut up and get back to work, because animals need you. And so I don't have the big following. Hopefully that will change with this movement here, because me and the sister sites and in the 501c3Zs promise. Love you, Candace. You are amazing, girl. You are amazing. Everything that she does with a compromised immune system. And she fights herself to the nitty gritty, to the bone, to the fingernails and bones. And I just respect her so much and thank her for allowing me to speak as a member of ZPAR, because, man, the stuff that she goes through just to keep her fur babies going and to find the right homes. I feel for it, because I walk it the same way with these scales. People just they just need to be held accountable, and credit needs to be given where it's due, not to these big, gigantic, conglomerate face movements that they don't really help anybody or the animals that they claim to. PETA! ASPCA has been nailed because their higher-ups have been siphoning off donations for their pensions. What? So, yeah, man, come the next few days and you see this donation thing popping up, please, let's make a statement. Let's show these frauds how it really is done. Because I've got a lot of bills that I got to catch up on with vets, and, you know, I got to pay those bills. And, you know, I should say that the people who are helping me, they've got to pay these vets, because I'm out of money. I have been for, you know, months and months. So everything has been functioning on the kindness of you guys, the sponsors. And, you know, just oh, I wish I could make it so much bigger, because it's all you. You know, some of you keep calling me the hero, and it's not. You're the hero. You're the hero, because I'd already been done. I'd have been out. I'd probably be on the fucking screw out. I got an old man that he wouldn't let that happen, but I wouldn't be able to keep doing what I'm doing, which I feel very powerfully for, because they deserve it. These animals, they absolutely deserve it. So I will put myself and my physical pain on the line. $10,000, $20,000, and $50,000. Those are our goals, and that will go so far in helping and even establishing a wider following of people who are willing to jump in and give what they can long term every month to make sure that these movements continue, because we need some real movements, some actual for real grassroots movements, because these conglomerations, they're full of it. Some of them are good, some of them they at least give most of that dollar back, but I mean, a lot of these, 90 cents of the dollar is going into their pockets and their advertisement and things like that. It's not right. How is that helping the animals? You're getting rich on their pain and suffering, and that's not fucking right. That's not right. That's not right at all. You might as well just go be putting your knees on their neck, on these animals' necks, and calling them Floyd. Okay? Because that's... And all of the other names. Oh my gosh, there's so many names. But that is the idea. You guys know what we're doing. If I have pissed you off in my mannerisms, and you want to see me in pain, good, cool, man. Throw $1 on, because now you're making sure that we reach these goals. Because no goals, no ouch from the J-Man, and no safety for them. And they're the real ones that deserve it. They're the real stars of this. So now you guys know the intent, and these guys are worth it. These guys are totally worth it. This is our little cancer patient right here. We just found out on the same day that we lost your sister from a surgery that we thought went really, really well. But her surgery was something different, and the biopsy came back, and unfortunately she has cancer. So we'll be trying some treatments that have and have not been proven to help with cancer, because we are desperate. Her mom is amazing. She's one of the sister sites. Kelly, I love you. You're so fucking cool, man. Sure wish we could have met, back in the day before we'd been through all of this hardening of the heart that we've experienced already. But this one's for you. If we can raise this money, I'm gonna be in some pain, and every last follicle ripping out of my flesh will be absolutely worth it, and then some, because of what it will go to and how many we will be able to help. At least find a noble end if we can't fix them completely, and that is what really matters. So, one world, one love, one movement together. We are one people. There is no such thing as race. And until we can all get on that same page, and we all understand that life equals life equals life, and no life is less than any other one person, whether it's an insect or a reptile or a cat or a dog or a human being or any of the other millions of species on this planet, we need to protect them. We are the only species on this planet capable of protecting them. So that is the goal. Big shout out to the Irwins. Your dad totally was my hero, other than my own dad. And I grew up watching his shows and letting him fill my heart with the urgency of conservation and protection of the ecosystem and every life that exists within, because everything serves a purpose. Every species serves a purpose, and it's an important purpose, no matter how big or small. Just like every job on this planet deserves respect because it serves a purpose, no matter how big or small. Every human life, regardless pigment, gender, sexual preference, whatever, mental capacity, standpoint, unless you hate something for something they can't help, I love you. And if you do hate something that's something they can't help, man, you need to get yourself an education and grow up out of that rock that you've clearly been hiding under for your entire life, because it's disgusting and it needs to stop. So please, please, please keep your eyes out for the donation links, and drop your kind or not so kind words, whatever they may be. But please donate, please share, and let's make some change that needs to be seen in this world today, because it is way, way, way overdue. Thousands of years we've been doing this crap. Definition of insanity. It's the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So here I am, trying something different. I'm going to give you guys a hilarious live feed of me getting my very first, hopefully, full body Brazilian wax, because we have raised at or more than $50,000. And every last bit of it will be used to save little innocent voiceless lives that they matter too. They do matter too. Nobody will ever deny that Black Lives Matter, but they're not the only ones who are getting fucked. And it's time that that stops. Nobody should be suffering just because ignorance is the cool way and being a nerd is still worthy of having a wedgie instead of, wow, your brain works so well. Can you teach me? So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close down this 30-minute video of me mostly rambling, but hopefully I have touched some hearts or influenced some of you who wouldn't stand up before to stand up now and either donate or share and make this movement that we are now starting at my body's expense, because of their expenses of their bodies, happen and successful, because it needs to be. And man, we need some funding. We really, really do. As you can see, I don't even have time to do my own damn laundry or wear nice things or look nice anymore. I haven't really been big on that my entire life, but it would just be nice to not feel so alone, and know that what I'm doing is touching other hearts, so they take up the fight as well, because it's hard being on these front lines, man. It's really, really hard, and I just don't know if it can keep going under my feet if we don't get some real help. So, please, man, if you're a celebrity and you see this, man, we really could fucking use your voice. If you're big time, internet celebrity and you see this, we really could use your voice. Anybody who can reach out and touch other hearts using this movement and seeing that we succeed in this movement, please, man, step up to the bar. This has to work. This has to succeed. I just don't see several of us being able to continue if it doesn't. So, and that's going to mean so many lives are lost with no hope, not even a day of knowing what love meant. Nobody should die that way. So please, share and donate. This is Justin Hill of Hill's Happy Herps, in tandem with Las Vegas Reptile Rescue and Z's Promise Animal Rescue and Texas Bearded Dragons Rescue and all sorts of other ones. Dragon Smart, Repta Smart. Linz, I love you too. You're so friggin' awesome. Knew that I don't have time to give out shout outs because we're running out of space on the video. But there are at least 50 shout outs that deserve to be said here, and I'm sorry I didn't get to you. But throughout this process, hopefully we'll get you some credit you deserve as well, because you guys, you know what I'm saying is true. You know how hard this fight is. You know what it costs us emotionally, financially, physically. We're all exhausted, and I just don't know how many of us can keep swinging without more help. So, please do help. One world, one love. Please. I'm literally begging you, and I'm a proud man, and this is not how I function usually. I'm used to doing everything myself. That's how my daddy raised me. And It's just become painfully obvious that this fight is too big for me to fight on my own, which is why I'm partnering and why I'm speaking out and why I'm putting now my physical pain at the expense of comedy relief. As long as the real movement and message gets out there, I'll be happy to, more than happy to. So, I guess that's it. See you guys in a couple of days with the fundraiser posted. And I just can't express how desperate we are for this to work. Because if it doesn't, I don't know what we're going to do. Thanks, everybody.